Most mornings don't start in the morning. They start with the last 60 seconds before you fall asleep. That tiny window when the lights are off, the room is quiet, and your mind is drifting. That's when your emotional tone for tomorrow gets locked in. Not by what you plan, not by what you promise yourself, not by how motivated you want to feel, but by one small habit that tells your inner world either, today is finished, or we're still carrying something. And that single message decides whether you wake up feeling heavy or light, restless or calm, already behind or quietly okay. It's not about sleeping longer. It's not about forcing positive thoughts. It's about what your system believes when the day ends. Because whatever state you close the night in, you reopen the morning from. Right before you fall asleep, your mind is not thinking in words anymore. It's feeling in states. The day you just lived leaves behind an emotional aftertaste, the same way food leaves a flavor in your mouth. And whatever that aftertaste is, becomes the first taste of your morning. If the last minutes of your night feel rushed, unresolved, self-critical, or overstimulated, your inner world falls asleep in a state of incompleteness, not logical incompleteness, emotional incompleteness. It's the feeling of, I didn't do enough. I should have done more. Tomorrow I have to fix things. I can't relax yet. Your system doesn't hear those as sentences. It hears them as pressure. So instead of sinking into rest, it stays slightly braced, like a runner who never fully leaves the starting position. When sleep comes from that state, your body rests, but your emotional tone does not reset. So in the morning you wake up with a strange heaviness that has no clear cause, not tired, not sad, just weighted. That's not lack of sleep, that's unfinished emotional momentum. But when the final moments of your night carry a sense of closure, not success, not perfection, just completion, something subtle shifts. Your inner world receives the message, this chapter is closed, we are allowed to stop. And when something truly feels finished, tension releases by itself. Your shoulders soften. Your breathing deepens. Your inner pace slows. You're no longer carrying today into tomorrow. And that's the real difference between waking up calm and waking up already burdened. It's not about what you think before sleep. It's about whether your system feels still in motion or safely parked. One creates a morning that starts in neutral. The other creates a morning that starts in recovery. So the tiny pre-sleep habit we're talking about doesn't change your thoughts. It changes your sense of ending. And endings are what tell your emotional world whether it can finally let go or whether it needs to hold on and stay on guard. The reason your mornings keep feeling the same isn't because the days are the same. It's because the ending of your days is the same. Most nights don't actually end. They just fade out. You scroll until your eyes are heavy. You think until your thoughts blur. You fall asleep mid-emotion, mid-pressure, mid-unfinished. So your inner world never hears, we're done. It only hears silence. And silence, without closure, doesn't feel like rest. It feels like a pause in the middle of a sentence. So your system holds the tension, not consciously, automatically. It keeps the emotional tone of the day slightly active, like a song left playing quietly in the background. Then morning comes. Your body wakes up, but the emotional tone is still there. That's why some mornings feel like you're already carrying something, even before anything happens. You're not reacting to the new day. You're continuing the last one. This repetition happens because the mind loves continuity. If something ends clearly, it lets it go. If something fades without an ending, it keeps it open. Open loops create background strain, not dramatic anxiety, just a subtle on-edge feeling, a low-level pressure, a sense that something is unfinished. So every night that ends without emotional closure trains your system. Stay slightly alert. We're not done yet. And every morning that starts with that alertness reinforces it, not as a thought, as a tone, a mood, a baseline. The loop continues not because you're doing something wrong, but because your inner world is still waiting for a proper ending signal. And once it finally receives that signal, the whole cycle can change. Here is the habit. It takes less than 20 seconds, and it has nothing to do with breathing techniques, affirmations, or fixing your life. It's simply this. Before you fall asleep, mentally say, "Today is complete." Not rushed, not mechanically, just once, slowly. Why this works is simple. Your inner world needs a full stop. Not a comma, not a fade out, a period. When you say, "Today is complete," you're not saying the day was perfect. You're saying it's finished. Finished days don't need to be carried. Finished days don't need to be solved in the future. Finished days can be put down. That sentence tells your emotional system, you can stop now. There is nothing left to hold. And when something truly feels finished, the body releases it on its own. The shoulders drop. The jaw softens. The mental grip loosens. Your system finally shifts from on standby to off duty. So when you wake up, you're not continuing yesterday. You're starting from neutral, not already behind, not already braced, just present. That's why the habit is so small and so powerful. You're not trying to change your mood. You're changing your starting point. You're giving your nervous system the one thing it's been missing, a clean ending. And clean endings create clean beginnings. You're not broken. You're not lazy. You're not stuck. You were just never taught how to close the day. Now you are.